Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Dan Does Tech Stuff. So today I just want to share kind of a quick update with you. It's been about a week now since I had the Switch 2 and really liking this system a lot. This was one of the launch models that I got from GameStop. So this is the one that has the Mario Kart World Bundle, which is the one I would recommend you get if you're looking to pick up the Switch 2. I know they're a little hard to find right now, but they'll definitely be in stock by Christmas. So it's going to be the hot holiday item this year. But so far, for what it's worth, I really like the new mechanics and how the Joy-Cons attach to the system. And the larger screen has been great to play on, so I'm definitely playing a lot more games in handheld mode. And obviously when you compare that to the original Switch, the screen is like bar none, better, bigger, and so really enjoying that extra screen real estate. So with that said, I will say that the Switch 2 isn't like revolutionary. Maybe the OG Switch is probably a little bit more revolution than the Switch 2 is. This is more like an iteration, a better iteration, like a Super Switch. So they didn't want to make the name crazy and funky, so they call it Switch 2, so that way there's no confusion. But I would say this is more like a Super Switch. My expectation for the console really was to be able to play new games that Nintendo had to offer. Typically I buy like Nintendo exclusive games for the Nintendo, because that's why we buy Switches, because we play for the games. Typically third-party games I buy on like more powerful consoles like a PS5 or an Xbox or even my PC. But for Nintendo games, typically I kind of stick to the Switch for that Nintendo experience. And with the Nintendo Online, you get a lot of the old school retro games. But no complaints. Just being able to play my old Switch games in higher frame rates, better fidelity, overall performance, that to me it's a big win. Okay? But just wanted to show you what I ended up picking up for my Switch 2 when I purchased it. And again, I didn't go too crazy on the Switch 2, but wanted to show you some of the accessories that I think are worthwhile to get with it. Okay? Alright, so I picked up a carrying case. Definitely if you're going to be traveling, that screen, unless you have like a tempered glass on it, you want to make sure you have a kind of a hard shell case. Okay? So I ended up getting a screen with it. I think what's really important is you do have to get tempered glass. So I think this would probably be your first purchase to get the Switch 2. You want to put that on so that way you don't have, any scratches, because the screen has a film on top of it, but is really easy prone to scratching. So you want to get like a tempered glass screen protector, okay? And I ended up getting a memory card. This is a micro SD. So this is from SanDisk. This is a micro SD Express card. Okay, so it's gonna differ from your typical SD cards, and you will know the difference by looking at the speed. So if you go out and buy a micro SD card, I bought the 512. So the Switch 2 comes built-in internal with 256 gigabytes, which the normal like the OG Switch 2, it only had 32 gigabytes of like onboard memory, which is like crazy when you think. It's still small. 256 isn't like ginormous, but Switch games aren't that big in general, so it's about 8 times more. So you have 256 gigabytes internal with the Switch 2 right now. I didn't want to go with the 1 terabyte because that was like a couple $100, but 512 will do you pretty well. And I did opt to get a Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. So as much as I like having the portability, sometimes the ergonomics on the Joy-Cons aren't great. So if you're looking for, like for me, I want to have more of a Pro controller style, so I ended up getting a Pro controller with it. And I only picked up one game, unfortunately, which was Cyberpunk 2077. So now it's a weird time for games because I'm an avid collector for physical games when I can get it, but Nintendo is doing something a little different this time. So this is like a 64 gigabyte SD card or card game card. So a lot of companies are now going to be doing key cards and maybe like digital downloads. So it's crazy. But Cyberpunk has the whole game on it, and I really picked this up just to kind of see what Cyberpunk looked like on a Nintendo Switch 2, because, you know, just for me being like curious about how it looks on the new console. That's what I ended up picking up. So I ended up picking the case, a controller, tempered glass, which is a must. I would say you should end up picking up a micro SD card. This is a micro SD card express. I recommend maybe a 512 over a 256, because they're only a difference of like 20 or 30 bucks. So I might as well get the double the memory. And since I got Mario Kart in the bundle, I just wanted to opt out for one more game. Now, a lot of the games that launch on Switch 2 are all iterative, because they're also on like the Switch, the PlayStation, the Xbox, so I didn't want to like double dip on those games. So with that said, let me show you what's on my Switch right now. So let's go ahead and dock the Switch and get that fired up. And I'll show you what I have on my Switch 2 at this moment. So right now, on my Switch, there's Mario Kart World installed. Okay. Brothers, this is from the Switch 1 game library. Here's Cyberpunk. I'm actually super excited to be playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This is the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, so I'll be sharing some gameplay with you on that. And then some other games that I picked up. I did a lot of downloading, so you can see like all the games that I have downloaded, which is like crazy. I didn't know I had that many games. And you can see, let's see on my memory how much memory I have left. So look at my memory. I only have 25 gigabytes left of this. So I'm going to go ahead and open up that memory card and put it inside. Okay, let's do that right now. So let's go ahead and clear the messy desk up. And so I already installed the tempered glass. So I got my Switch from GameStop. I'm not saying that they have the best tempered glass, but I think this is only like $12.99. You can get it on Amazon. I think they go for anywhere from $8.99 to $12.99 as well. So just for ease, I picked that up. So let's go ahead and install the SD card on the Switch. All right. So it should be pretty easy. Where is my trusty scissors? Now, you want to be careful when you install some of these memory cards, because what happened one time, I actually got a little overzealous and I cut right into the middle of one, and I cut the card and I damaged it. So that's no bueno. So these are pretty simple to add memory to. Again, this is the 512 gigabytes, which is a bunch of games. So fortunately, Switch games haven't gone into that 100 gigabyte range, 120 gigabyte range yet, which is great, because then you're just always need to add memory to your console. Alright, so I think it's got like a little protective membrane here. That should do it. Alright. Hopefully I don't damage it. Okay, boom. And that should go right into the slot here. At the very, I think it's either the top or bottom. And no, it's on the bottom. So you put your micro SD card down here, face up, and voila. That's it right there, boom. Okay, so once you put that in, it says you need to update it. So let's go ahead and update that. Update the system. Okay. I wasn't expecting an update, but now you know we're doing this real time in case system will restart. Let's put the Joy-Cons back on. Let's see. Put my utility scissors away. Just go ahead and dock this so you can kind of see what that memory looks like. Alright, let's dock that. Switch over my screen. There we are. Fire up the Joy-Cons. Here's Nintendo security. Alright, and now if I go over to settings, I should have that new 512 gigabytes of space, data management, and sure enough, there it is. So I've got my system memory with 25 gigs left, and now you can see after putting in that micro SD card, I have 456 gigabytes left there. Okay, voila, not bad. All right, so then you can manage your software, you can delete stuff, you can move things around. So that's why I highly recommend getting a micro SD card. Again, this is the express card for it. Okay. All right, so let's see what this looks like if I need to travel with it. So let's go ahead and open up the carrying case, see what that looks like. Now this is only like, I think it was only 20 bucks for the carrying case. And this one does fit both the Switch 1, Switch 2. So let's take a look. But again, I already installed the tempered glass, but you need to get this for sure. Let's see what this looks like. Does it fit the whole unit? Okay. Alright. For Switch OLED, so you can take this out. And let's see if that fits everything. Just like this. And perfect fit. Okay, that's good. That's a good fit. So definitely you want to make sure you get a case. Now for the games, I've got a little library of games to get a hold of. So here's my Switch 1 games. So definitely a lot of Switch 1 games to play. There aren't a lot of Switch 2 exclusives besides Mario Kart. So definitely gonna play the Zelda games first. And I will do some more videos to see how well these games now play on the new Switch 2. Alright. And let's take a look at the controller, the Pro Controller. I am going to take this out. I'm going to dock it back up. Pull the Joy-Cons out. Alright, and let's take a look at the Pro Controller to see what that looks like. Oh, here's the game I want to show you. Cyberpunk, I think I opened it up already, but it is a 64 gigabyte cartridge. It's the only game I got. And I will put up some gameplay of that. And here is the almighty Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller. So let's do a quick unboxing of this. Where is my razor blade? So the Switch 2 controllers are a little expensive. They're a little pricey. They're about $84. So it's crazy you think controllers are that expensive now. So I would say wait for a sale if you're not like needing it now. I would say wait for a sale if you can. But for the gaming experience, you want to make sure that you do have kind of the best of both worlds. Joy-Cons, even though they're still bigger, that D-pad still don't have a full functioning D-pad. So they kind of, Nintendo kind of makes you buy their Pro Controller so you have a real official D-pad, okay? Take a look what's inside the box. You've got a USB-A to USB-C cable. So sometimes these are hard. This is actually a really good one. Wow, I like it. So let me connect this to the system. Okay. I like how it's very malleable. It's very flexible. So I'll hook that up to the system. Okay. And then you get the controller. Pretty bare bones package. Nothing too fancy about that. And let's see. And oh wow. That controller feels nice. Let's see, what do we have on this? So you have some back buttons here. That USB-C controller with your LED lights, indicator lights. Get your LR, ZL, ZR. Oh yeah. This has a really smooth motion to it. C button for chat. Face buttons feel really... they're bigger than most controllers. Yeah, when you compare that, it almost looks like an Xbox controller, but with bigger buttons. You can see here's an Xbox controller. So definitely the buttons are bigger. They don't have that glossy look to it. D-pad, yes, D-pad looks good. Feels really nice. I'm gonna have to play some Street Fighter on it. That has really good motion, very good motion. Just enough tension. Press inwards. Got an audio jack there. It's the profile. Wow. Okay, so let's get this set up with the switch. I'm gonna plug in my cable here, USB-C. Plug that in. And let's see if I can plug it in directly. Okay. So let's see if it detects. I'm gonna do the plug-in first. There's me plugging that in. And is there any indicator light? Okay, there's a charging light here. And it says I'm player 2, which makes sense because I have the Joy-Cons on. And let's see, moment of truth. It works. Nice. Okay. Oh yeah, feels really nice. That's great. Okay. Well, that's how you connect it to your Switch 2. And then if I disconnect this, will that automatically just work wirelessly? Let's try. And it should. Okay, it does. Awesome. Awesome possum. Alright folks, so I'm gonna leave that in to charge. So that's kind of my Switch 2 accessories. I didn't do too crazy. Again, just to reiterate, got the Switch 2 Pro controller. Joy-Cons obviously comes with the unit. Got the case. Boom. Highly recommend getting a case. Got that 512 gigabyte micro SD card. And got the tempered glass, which is a must, so you don't scratch up your screen. And one game. Only one game. So besides getting Mario Kart in the bundle. Alright. So if you found value in this video today, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If it's your first time coming to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to support me even further, go ahead and maybe buy me a cup of coffee. You can find that link in the description. With that said, I hope you guys who have bought a Switch or Switch 2 are enjoying your experience. If you're finding it hard to find, have no fear, it will be in stock soon. I've actually seen it as low as like $4.29 over at Sam's Club. So look for some of those bundle deals, big box stores that might have it. With that said, happy gaming, take care of yourself and each other, and I will catch you on the next episode. With that said, bye for now.